it. Do you think you'd be interested in helping me? Well, I just need to know a couple of things about you. Like, what's your name? That's a nice name. And what's your favorite animal? I know sometimes people have to think long and hard about this one. Oh, so you already had your answer. That's nice. Well, here's my next question, and this might be kind of a difficult one. If you had the opportunity to change into any animal to transform into one, which animal would you choose to be? Would it be your favorite one, or would it be another? Really? And why is that? I see. Well, what if I told you that I could change you into any animal that you wanted to be? Any single one on this earth. Whether you believe me or not, would you do it? Well, I guess it would only be for a day. Just one day to see how that animal lives. Okay, before you make your decision on which animal that would be, I think I should tell you a little bit about a few animals on this earth, just so you have a good idea of what you'd be living like. Is that okay? I just want to make sure that you make the right decision. I'm going to tell you some facts about the various creatures on this planet. And at the end, you can pick which one you want me to turn you into. You might think I'm joking, but I'm not. But I guess you'll have to stick around to see whether I can or not. And I'm gonna stick around to see which one you pick. Here are some random facts. The loudest animal in the world is a mere 2 centimeters long. A prawn. The shrimp is capable of snapping its claws shut so rapidly that it creates a bubble which collapses to produce a sonic blast, louder than a Concord's sonic boom. The loudest animal in the world is a prawn. The shockwave can reach 230 decibels, also louder hands while sleeping. And is that not the cutest thing you've ever heard in your whole entire life? I suppose you wouldn't want to turn into an otter, though, unless you turned into one with someone else, so that you could hold hands with them. Let's do another. Hummingbirds are the only non-birds that can also fly backwards. They often do this when retreating away from flowers. So if you were a hummingbird, you could fly backwards, forward and backwards. Dolphins use toxic pufferfish to get high. Dolphins deliberately handle pufferfish, causing them to release toxins as a defense mechanism. These toxins can be fatal in high doses, but also have a NARCOTIC effect and are a powerful hallucinogenic which dolphins appear to enjoy. So, if you're a dolphin, you can get high down below. A documentary witnessed them passing around pufferfish in a pod before floating just underneath the water surface. The inland taipan, also known as the western taipan, is the most venomous snake in the world. Contains enough venom to demolish at least 100 fully grown men and can demolish within just 30 minutes if left untreated. So the taipan, I think is how you say it. The taipan is the most venomous snake. Taipan. They very rarely ever come in contact with humans. However, every reliable identification of a snake bite from an inland taipan have been herpetologists when handling or studying the snakes. They have all survived due to successful treatment with antivenom. So the most venomous snake has only ever bitten scientists that have studied it, and they've all survived because they had time to get treatment, since they were in a controlled environment. And if you don't know, a herpetologist is a specialist in amphibians and reptiles. They study the behaviors, habitats, genetics, physiology, and development of these animals. Many herpetologists also devote most of their research and focus on species conservation. So remember, the taipan is the most venomous snake, and if you're a taipan, you can be the most venomous snake. And hopefully you don't bite anyone other than a herpetologist. According to the World Health Organization, 725,000 people are demolished each year from mosquito-borne diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and yellow fever. Mosquito outnumber every other animal in the world apart from ants and termites. They can also be found in nearly every part of the world, which all add up in the risk they pose to humans. So remember how dangerous mosquitoes are. If you want to be the most dangerous animal on the planet, then I suggest you choose the mosquito. Although I think you'd be at a great disadvantage with how small you'd be. You have to be very careful not to get swatted. $725,000 each year. That's quite a feat. I wonder if you can single-handedly do that yourself in the one day that you'll have. If you chose that. There are more than 1.4 billion insects for each human on the planet. According to recent estimates, ants have colonized almost every landmass on Earth. Their population is estimated as 10, 7, 10, 8 billion in comparison to approximately 7 billion humans on the planet. So, you could choose to be, I suppose, an ant. But if you're not the queen ant, you probably won't have such a good time, since you'll be a worker. Think about that though. 1.4 billion insects for each human. 10 billion ants when there's only 7 billion humans on the planet. The shortest living animal in the world is the mayfly. Its entire adult lifespan is just 24 hours. The mayfly reproduces and then passes during that short 24-hour period of life. Some species of mayfly only live for 8 to 10 hours. Although they have the shortest adult lifespan, they actually exist as a nymph in water from 3 to 7 years depending on species. I would suggest not choosing the mayfly to be what you want to transform into. Since you'll only have 24 hours, and if unlucky, maybe even 8 to 10. Interesting. Let's do another. The horned lizard is able to and that the horned lizard can shoot BLOOD out of its eyes up to 3 feet. That's pretty disgusting, isn't it? And we learned that hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly backwards. And we learned that mosquitoes demolish over 700,000 people each year. 725,000 to be exact. Now let's learn more. Roosters prevent themselves from going deaf due to their own loud crowing by tilting their head backs when they crow, which covers their ear canal completely, serving as a built-in earplug. A study showed that their crowing averages over 100 decibels, which is roughly the same as running a chainsaw. So roosters' crows are as loud as a chainsaw. No wonder they can wake people up. And they're pretty smart if they can prevent themselves from going deaf by tilting their heads back when they crow. So I guess if you're a rooster, you could use that little trick to keep yourself safe. Because I will tell you, when I turn you into an animal, anything that happens while you're one will happen to your body as a human once you come back. So you must be very careful. Little is known about the elusive giant squid. However, the largest squid ever found measured over 50 feet and weighed nearly a ton. To put that in perspective, A study showed that over a 10-month period, a swift stopped for just 2 hours. And if you don't know what a swift is, it's a bird. Now, let's roll back a little. What else did we learn right now? We learned that the largest squid measured was over 50 feet and as large as a bus, bigger than a bus in fact. We learned that roosters are as loud, their crowing is as loud as a chainsaw, and they tilt their heads back to keep from going deaf. We learned that the pangolin, which is the scaly anteater, rolls up in a ball to avoid being eaten by lions. We learned that koalas sleep for up to 22 hours a day because of their diet being hard to digest. And we learned that swifts spend most of their lives flying and can fly for almost an entire year without landing. Let's keep going. I don't think you've chosen what you want to be yet. Even after having its head cut off, a cockroach can still live for weeks. Even stranger, a cockroach's head can actually survive by itself for a few hours. A group of parrots is known as a pandemonium, and the collective noun for porcupines is a purgle. A purgle whale's tongue can weigh approximately 2.7 tons or 6,000 to 8,000 pounds. Now let's go over what we just learned. A rooster's crow is as loud as a chainsaw. They tilt their heads back to keep from going deaf. Right? A cockroach can live for weeks after its head's been removed. A group of parrots is known as a pandemonium, and the porcupines are a prickle. Cows poo up to 50 times a day, but their manure can help fertilizer, fuel, and heat and electricity. Snails have 14,000 teeth, and a blue whale's tongue can be up to 6,000 to 8,000 pounds. The longest living verified animal is a Madagascar which passed at an age of 188 years in May 1965. However, there might be even older. Adwaita in Algebra giant tortoise passed at an estimated Pacific octopus has 3 hearts, 9 brains, and blue, B-L-O-O-D. 3 hearts and 9 brains. They are also able to change their color and texture to camouflage themselves in a blink of an eye. The giant Pacific octopus, 3 hearts, 9 brains. A flea can jump distances 200 times their body length. They are able to jump 10 inches vertically and up to 18 inches horizontally, making them one of the planet's best jumpers relative to its size. It's equal to a human jumping as high as up to 200 times their body. They are able to jump 10 inches vertically. Let's see something. That means they're able to jump 10 inches high and 18 inches to the side. So remember, a flea can jump 10 inches high. The male seahorse goes through pregnancy and gives birth to babies. They're the only animal on Earth where the male carries the baby rather than the female. The male seahorse has a pouch on its stomach in which to carry babies, as many as 2,000 at a time. So male seahorses go through pregnancy and can carry up to 2,000 babies. I don't know if you want to be a seahorse. I don't know if you want to go through pregnancy on your day of being an animal. Pufferfish can contain a tetrodotoxin, a toxin that is up to 1,000. There is no known antidote. Some pufferfish can take out 30 humans with one body, and there's no antidote. Amazingly, despite this, some pufferfish meat is considered a delicacy in Japan. The meat, called fugu, is expensive and only prepared by licensed chefs with over 3 years of rigorous training who remove toxic Its calls can be heard from 3 miles away, so that means the prawn is the loudest animal in general, and the howler monkey is the loudest land animal, and you can hear it from 3 miles away. At its peak, the howler monkey can produce sounds that reach 140 decibels. Noisy as a jet engine. So, a howler monkey is the loudest land animal, and it sounds like a jet. There's an average of 50,000 spiders per acre in green areas. There's over 45,000 known spider species, with the venom of a few only known to be dangerous to humans. Only a few are dangerous to humans. 50,000 spiders per acre in green areas. The aptly named colossal squid's eyes are as large as a basketball. This allows the colossal squid to detect the faint light of a predator from heat. The colossal squid's eyes are as big as a basketball. White-tailed jackrabbits are the greatest land jumpers, having been recorded leaping an astonishing 21 feet vertically. That's higher than 3 average-sized men all stood on top of each other. This large species of hare can also run up to 35 miles per hour when escaping predators. So, white-tailed jackrabbits can jump up to 21 feet. Gray-headed albatross can circle the globe in only 46 days. The incredible round-the-world journey covers 14,000 miles over the 46-day period at a steady 13 miles per hour. The gray-headed albatross performed this feat by making various pit stops along the way. That's one fast fish. I said bird. The gray-headed albatross is a bird. They can circle the globe in 46 days. I was just trying to confuse you so that you would choose to be a fish. Maybe I want you to explore what's underneath that sea and tell me. I'd love to know. Whenever I change into an animal, I choose a dolphin for the butterfish, if you know what I mean. The gray-headed albatross can circle the globe in only 46 days. Giraffes are the tallest land animal in the world, reaching heights of 19 feet. The ostrich is the world's tallest bird. It can grow up to 9 feet tall. That means a white-tailed jackrabbit can jump higher than a giraffe. Ostrich is the tallest bird. Giraffe is the tallest animal. Over 2 meters, or over 2 meters, 7 feet of a giraffe's total size, is its famously long neck, which helps it reach leaves in tall trees. An ostrich legs are so powerful that their kicks or a human. Each two-toed foot has a long, sharp claw, often end up running away from the ostrich. An ostrich's kick can demolish a lion and a human. Isn't that fascinating? The Dementor wasp paralyzes cockroaches with venom to purposefully never destroy an ant's nest, preferring to leave some ants alive to rebuild so it can return and feed again in the future. It's a very, very smart animal, but if I were the ants, I would move after that happens, or would rebuild in the same nest that was attacked, knowing that the predator will come back. If you choose to be an ant, I urge you to warn the others to leave the spot from when they were originally attacked. Now, it's time to decide. Which animal do you want to be? You know what? Let's make this